And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye podcast. It's episode 10. We're home. We're back after being away for about a week. Plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. We obviously had the Clásico Nacional. This will be a podcast in which we break down everything. We'll talk emotions, reactions, everything. And today, we got a packed show, so hopefully you guys are excited. Hopefully you guys are ready. Can't even talk. But before I get started, let me introduce my co-host, as always, Mr. Dylan Jimenez. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me back again.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And tonight we are joined by two of the three wise chivos from the Chivas del Norte podcast. It's Varo and Rigo. How are you gentlemen doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
All right. So as you guys had us on on your guys' podcast last week, which we thank you guys. You actually were the first podcast to have us on, so that was pretty cool. And obviously now you guys are coming here. We're gonna talk about the Clásico. We're gonna talk about how you guys feel about it from a Chivas perspective, and of course we'll give the America perspective, and we'll see exactly where we meet in between. But I think before we get anywhere, I think it's only fair that we ask you guys the same questions you guys asked us on your podcast, and that being, who is your favorite all-time Chivas player that you guys have?
I'll let Varo go first.
All right. So anybody that's followed me on Twitter for like whatever amount of time, everybody knows that my favorite Chivas player of all time is Ramoncito Morales, left winger for Chivas, played for the Mexican national team. I think what made me like him a lot was the fact that he was super short. I think he was like 5'8", 5'7", something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I was
You're super short.
As a kid, I was super short, and then I had like growth
as an adult too.
That saved me. Taller than your average Mexican, okay? But yeah, like I think like the heart and resiliency he showed every game, and he was Chivas' captain. You know, they call him the El Capitán Eterno. So Ramosito Morales, definitely my favorite Chivas player of all time.
All right.
And my favorite Chivas player of all time is the other Ramon, Ramon Ramirez. Ramon.
Okay.
He played center mid, he played left mid, he played left wing. He was just one of the best left center midfielders Mexico has ever seen and Chivas has ever seen. And first of all, he had a fire haircut. He completely like bled red, white, and blue. So much to the point where when he got traded to Club America, like he didn't even want to play there. Like he pretty much let his career go to shit because he did not want to be on that club because he loved Chivas so much. And he was also great on the national team as well.
Yep. Two very good players, I would have to say. Obviously, I got to watch Ramoncito Morales later in his career, so I mean, I have a mental picture of him playing against us. So, yeah. All right, so then that's your guys' players. Now I'll follow up with another question you guys gave us, which was, who was your guys' how long have you guys been a fan?
You want to go, Rigo?
Yeah, I've been a fan since like I was in my dad's nutsack.
We apologize to the children listening.
Hey, I'm like a third generation Chivas fan. If you guys watch this on the Copa 90 video, if you haven't, make sure you go to the Copa 90 YouTube video. I talk about how my dad and my grandfather are Chivas fans, so it's all I've ever known is being a Chivas fan.
Okay.
Well, I'm the same way. My parents aren't from Guadalajara; they're from Puebla, but my dad always loved Chivas because of the fact that they only field Mexican-born or Mexican players now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the earliest memories I have of Chivas are like from my childhood, like 98, 97. I remember when they lost the the final de Necaxa, I think, in '98, I think, and
98.
and they beat Toros Neza in '97. Rigo, I think Rigo
Yep.
might know if he's old, so
Yeah,
who knows?
Toros Neza one. Toros Neza one was a blowout. The Necaxa one, we were supposed to win that game. The final game was at Estadio Jalisco, and
That's the
Chivas.
game that they tired us.
Everybody said,
yeah,
we lost in the second half. And I just remember we cried in my house. Nobody ate for like 3 days. It was just pure sadness everywhere.
Yeah, I remember that game too because I was like in the soccer team. Like it was how old was I? Was that '98? So I
Like
was
4.
I was 8 years. I was 8 years old. So I remember like all the kids on our team were like, "Yo, we gotta play like Necaxa. We gotta let the other team get tired and then beat them when they're tired." And I'm looking at them like, we're 8 years old, but we don't get freaking tired. Like we can run for days. Like what are you talking about? Like play like Necaxa. But yeah, like so. I mean, since I was a kid, I've been a Chivas fan since I was a kid, and I grew up watching them, and I even have a Chivas tattoo now. So
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
for
So
life.
it's to that level.
I'm in for life. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's. I think it's an awesome thing. It's I think that's one of the beauties of this game is that, you supporting regardless of the team that you support. It's I think just a little bit extra special when it's handed down generation after generation after generation. So, that's actually pretty cool. Um, uh, really not much more to say than that. But again, thank you guys for coming on to the show. Thank you for having us, and we're gonna dive right into this. Um, so, Clásico Nacional was Saturday. Ended up being a 1-1 all draw. Overall, I think frustration from the America side. I think overall you guys are satisfied with the result, much more than any America fan would be. I wanna throw this out to you first, Dylan, and I wanna ask you exactly. Final whistle goes. What is your initial reaction into what are you thinking about when you see the result go?
Yeah, like you said, Ivan, just frustration all around. We've had our chances there, not necessarily including that controversial offsides goal. Don't know how you feel about that, or Varo or Rigo feel about that, but I mean, the chances were there. The chances were there to be taken, but yet they couldn't find the back of the net. And so I just feel like, to me, this game could have gone either way because I think Chivas were a little bit of the better side in the first half, and we came back out strong in the second half, having all those chances. But yeah, like I said, we can't finish that. We're making the mistakes that we made at the beginning of the season, mistakes that shouldn't be made for a team like us. So it sucks that we finished out with a 1-1 draw whenever we could have walked away with the 3 points.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree to that. What are your guys' thoughts, gentlemen, on the result? It goes 1-1. What are you guys happy? You guys frustrated? What's going on?
I mean, I think I was there. I was at the game.
Correct.
It wasn't a loss, right? So I mean, for me being live in the stadium watching the game, like if we would have took an L, it probably would have ruined a lot of my trip. But we drew, and I expected more. I thought, while I would say we controlled the possession and probably controlled a lot of the game, you guys had a lot of the attacking opportunities. You guys probably had more attacking opportunities. And for me, it was just like it's just been like every other Chivas game this season. It's just been like we had our opportunities to win. The other team had opportunities, and we didn't. I wanted 3 points, obviously, because I was there. And as a fan, I just wanted 3 points. Is the 1-1 enough? Not really, but it's not a loss at this day. At the end of the day, and when you're playing your rival, like when you don't lose to your rival, I think that's more important than whether we got the 3 points or not.
Bottom.
Yeah. Well, I think either team could have won the game. the chances were there for Chivas to win. The chances were there for America to win. I think Chivas not dominated, but they played a lot better in the first half, and they faded out as the game went. We did control possession, but honestly, I thought America felt like the more dangerous team when they had the ball, and I think that comes from the fact that as a Chivas fan and watching them this whole season, we see that when other teams have the ball, they counter us or we make stupid defensive plays and give up goals. There was like one play where I think Pineda gave the ball away right like a quarter away from our goal, and it almost cost us a goal. So yeah, Chivas dominated the possession. I think in terms of shots, we were kind of even. I think Chivas had 5 on target. America had 8. But I'm not happy with the draw because a win would have gave me like a little bit of hope that we can make a playoff run. I think with the tie, Chivas has to win out for the rest of the season, and I don't see it happening. So, I don't know. I guess I'll take the tie because it's not a loss, but I'm not happy about it.
Really? Because it seems that a lot of Chivas fans are, especially on Twitter, seem to be bagging in the sense that, you guys are kind of strutting your stuff saying, oh, the first place team comes out here and can't beat the 17th place team.
That was me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I've seen it multiple places that too. Like, my question is, like, what, like, if do you guys feel that way, or do you guys feel frustrated about not getting the 3 points?
I think
we're
that's
frustrated about not getting the 3 points, but I think it's two different things because, we want to win, but at the same time, we are at our worst right now as far as a team that has trouble scoring, and you expect the team that's the top team in the league to come in against a team that's almost in last place, and you would normally expect to beat them. So that's why I made a comment like that, because realistically that's what it is. It's the first place team versus 17th place team, and they couldn't beat them. But it has nothing to do with whether I wanted to win or not, or it's just more from a statistical standpoint.
Okay. And I'm kind of glad that it's thrown out there like that in a sense, because I feel like at the end of the day, the only real people to blame for us not getting the result is ourselves. Honestly, I mean, you guys played a good game, a really good game, but I mean, we had our chances. Like Vado was saying, we had a couple more than you guys, and it's frustrating because me and Dylan have talked about this on this pod for a countless amount of times, that we have chance after chance after chance after chance, and we're not taking these opportunities. And because we're not taking these opportunities, the only people that are letting that ourselves down is ourselves. So it's I feel like hearing that and seeing that is like, yeah, it's why couldn't we go out there and beat you guys? If you're at the lowest and we're at our best, why is it that we can't perform to that standard? Obviously it's a Clásico. I know it, like you said previously in your guys' podcast, it's a whole different animal, it's a whole different experience, everything, but it should play a little bit into factor that we were the better side coming into that matchup, and we didn't take these opportunities.
I also think, to be honest, like, Chivas and America aren't that far apart in the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
Are they far apart in the table? Yeah.
The league?
Because too. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
In the table, because. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I don't think that they're that far apart in when they play, because Chivas plays a very good game. They attack. They play forward. They attack. They play the possession game. And I mean, there really isn't a club in the league that you can say this year has dominated Chivas when they play them. Have they beat them because Chivas doesn't put away their opportunities? Yes. And that's a completely different topic. I would say when you put both these teams like against each other, and like we saw, it's a lot more of an even match, regardless of how you look at looking at the table.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have to say to that, Dylan?
Yeah, I get the point. I've never looked at Chivas as a easy team to be. I've always respected Chivas as a team. And so, going into this match, going back to kind of what Vado said too, it seemed like America were the most dangerous on the ball whenever they got possession. Well, I was nervous whenever Chivas got the ball whenever they would go forward, because going back to like I said, like our mistakes, we would make those silly passes, we would make the play complicated, something that you've said too, Ivan, and I've always, like I said, I've always respected Chivas. I've never taken Chivas lightly, and they've shown out and dominated possession week in and week out, and it's just it's kind of like a series of unfortunate events sometimes happen in Chivas. Not able to put away those chances too, getting caught on the
Dylan,
counter.
Were you nervous because Chivas is your rival and you don't want them to score, or were you really nervous because you thought we were gonna score? Because I mean, a lot of times we get excited because we're gonna score, but like the reality is that we don't score. Like that's just the way we've been playing this season.
Yeah, I mean, cause like going back to the first half, like y'all said, I think also too, Chivas was a little bit more dominant on the ball going forward. I mean, shoot, they even had the opening goal, and so with the way America was playing, with those little silly mistakes and stuff like that, I feel like it was inevitable at some point that either America or Chivas was bound to score another goal, but nobody did. So I think it could, like we kind of said too before, the game could have gone either way. I feel like somewhere along the lines, a mistake was going to be happening to either back line, and so it could have gone either way. So I was nervous, because y'all have the likes of Chofis or Lalo, and he must be called Lalo now, and Pizarro, and I mean, those are some guys that were having a pretty good game that game, and so I feel like anything could have happened at that point.
I mean, Chofis missed a sitter, like right in front of the. I thought it was an offsides. I said it on our podcast. I thought it was an offsides, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, and then America had tons of opportunities. There was one, I don't know who had it, that they kicked it over the goal. I don't remember who had it for Club America.
Menace, I think it was Menace.
Yeah, I think it was
no, sorry, no. Where he tries to think Cota.
Yeah,
that was Oribe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the game could have gone either way, to be honest. And I don't think like if the game would have gone either way, like you could really be disappointed on either side for how the team played, because both teams played well and they both played their match. Obviously we got a draw. I thought for a draw it was a good draw. Like it wasn't like, I didn't think it was a bad game. I thought it was an exciting game. Obviously the first half carried the majority of the excitement over the second half. But even the second half had its exciting points. I think once they got to like the 75th minute, both teams kind of, let their foot off the gas, and I think they were both happy with the draw. At least, I mean, it just that's how it felt, how the coaches approached it.
Oh, okay. Well, you bring up the second half a little bit. This is something I kind of want to touch on. I wasn't happy, and I told Ivan I wasn't happy with the way Miguel Herrera made the subs, especially him bringing on the likes of like Henry Martin late, Joe Corona late, and it's just something that I've said time and time again, is that something Piojo doesn't understand, that he needs to make other subs. I mean, because whenever y'all made subs, it seemed like at the perfect time and the players that were going to make a difference on the pitch. Well, Piojo put players on so late that they couldn't really make an impact that much on the pitch.
Yeah, and that was the most frustrating part in the sense of Piojo Herrera, because I think tactically speaking, he kind of went into this matchup expecting a little bit what was actually going to happen. I don't think he was able to deal with the likes of, should I go forward? Should I be more attacking? Should I go for the win? or should I be a little bit more conservative and take this point away, maybe conserve that unbeaten run, and then focus on what's to come? And I think he opted out for the safer choice, which I think for an America fan, that was the most frustrating part, because previous to this matchup against Tijuana, he took out a defender to throw on another forward just to try to get the 3 points. So, I mean, you think that's his mindset, you think that's his mentality, and if he doesn't do that in a big match like this, in a Clásico, then really, what is that trying to say to the fan base? Aside from that, though, you mentioned that with the draw, both teams look pretty well, that there's really no frustration as to how both teams played. But I think there is a really big frustration from the America side, that because we felt, even though people would say that it was a pretty good game for America, I felt like we were below what the expectation was and what we were playing. And I'm talking about players individually who stepped on that pitch and had absolutely no reason to be on there. One, Carlos Vargas. We'll talk about him a little bit on the show when we talk about the goal that you guys scored. Two, Jeremy Menez. I mean, he was strutting around like if it was just a pickup match. No one, at one point, even Oribe Peralta was starting to yell at him to start moving a little bit more. And I mean, there was just players out there on the pitch that did not look like they wanted to be there. If for on your guys' side, everyone from, at least from what my perspective was, from what I saw, was that your guys' team was actually looking pretty solid, in the sense that everyone was kind of up for the match. I mean, was there one player that? Yeah, go ahead. About
that. Do you think that stems from the fact that these guys aren't coming through the America Academy and they don't really like get the pressure that lies in the Super Clásico between America and Chivas?
Yes, but that shouldn't be a reason as to why they shouldn't know. I mean, America's had for the longest time extranjero after extranjero after extranjero, but there has been players that have felt the colors, that have felt the team before.
The turnaround is like, the turnaround for players is a lot faster. I feel like now. I feel like extranjeros would come into the team and hang out for a couple of seasons, so they would get the gist of what a Clásico means. Now it's like, all right, you didn't make it in one season. Guess what? You're out of here.
Yeah, but I think that falls on the training staff, on the coaches, on the players that actually know what it is to adapt these players, to kind of teach them, and they should know by now too. Because I mean, America's had great players like the likes of Brailovsky, Reynoso, people that feel the colors and knew what it was since day one. So I mean, it's players that they should know this, and you expect this if you're gonna throw, and maybe not even feel the passion right away, but if we're paying you a certain amount, a big amount, I expect you to come out there on the pitch and kill yourself day in and day out. And if you're not doing it in the biggest matchup of the season, then what are you doing, my guy? And I felt like that was the most frustrating part. So, I mean, for me, I kind of want to ask you guys now, on your perspective, was there a player that kind of stood out that you thought maybe he shouldn't be on the pitch?
I don't think there was a player that I didn't want there, but at the same time, I also feel like there wasn't a player that stood out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we expected big things from Pizarro, Chofis, Pulido. I think everybody on Chivas had a meh game. Like, it was okay. As a unit, we functioned and played. I guess we played decently because we got the tie. But like, off the top of my head, there's not anybody that I can say, this guy had a great game. Godinez had the goal, and that was cool. But like, when we were recording our podcast and talking about the starting lineup, we're like, hey, why the hell is Godinez playing? We don't want him on there. And then like 15 minutes later, he scores a goal, and then we're like, hey, maybe this kid's all right. But I don't know, like, guys that shouldn't have been fielded, maybe Pineda. He's been struggling. He didn't really show anything on the Saturday. I think Michael Perez, our other CDM, he was playing well. He broke up a couple of plays, had like fouled people when he had to foul them. But if I had to pick one, like, gun to my head, Pineda. I don't think he should have been fielded.
Okay, Vado. I mean, Rigo.
Somebody that should not have been fielded, Osvaldo Alanis.
Really?
Osvaldo Alanis should not have been fielded.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be anywhere near a soccer pitch. To be honest.
Really, this is the guy that was kind of saving you guys for a while.
Well,
Saving us from what?
I mean, he was scoring goals.
Yeah, he's also missing him and giving him up. He's bad. He's not a good defender. It was obvious. Like the move that Oribe Peralta did on him.
Yeah, it was
Like,
pretty. It was kind of childish.
A good defender would not have fallen for that. It wasn't even. He didn't even do a full like half turn. Like he kind of just turned to his left, and then completely turned around the other way. And Osvaldo didn't even try to like catch up to him or nothing like that. He just kind of just like stood there and watched. But that wasn't the only play. There was a lot of times he was getting caught outside of the box. He was like, and he doesn't have the speed to be like, he doesn't have the speed to keep up with guys, and he doesn't position himself well enough as for a guy who doesn't have speed. And he was just getting caught by you guys. Like a lot of the deficiencies on our defense were coming from his side, not so much Carlos Salcido. So yes, he scored some goals from set pieces, but he's somebody. I don't think his deficiencies on defense are a bigger liability than what he does offensively. Yes, he does put the pass to Chofis at Chofis' heads, and then the goal comes, but he also gives up the goal to Oribe Peralta, and he almost gave up other goals. So I don't think he's worth it. I don't think he's worth it defensively to have on in the starting lineup.
Okay,
I mean,
interesting.
I don't think we have a better option on the bench. Who would you start above Alanis?
Maybe Basulto, but I mean,
But Basulto usually plays right center, right center back. Yeah.
Listen, as somebody who plays center back and is right-footed, you can play on the left side. It's not that difficult. Like that whole you need to be left-footed. That whole you need to be left-footed to play left center back.
Oh no, yeah,
ridiculous.
I get that, but I still wouldn't want Basulto or Marin in there over Alanis.
No, I mean I don't know.
Like,
Alanis is not good, man.
Alanis giveth and taketh, but I'd rather he be on the I'd rather him be on the field. And that spin move that Oribe put him in, Jesus Christ, that happened earlier in the season too. I think it was against Necaxa. He just got spun out of his boots, and it happened again. When I saw it, I was like, this guy did it. Wow, again. But yeah, I guess Alanis, I'd keep him on the pitch. I know Rigo said he wouldn't want him there, but I would keep him on.
Okay, interesting things. Now that we're talking about goals and giving up goals, Dylan, quickly, give us your take on the goal that we concede. I mean, it's ridiculous that we concede this goal. Really, it really is. I mean, what are your takes on this? I mean, Carlos Vargas, someone who we've on this podcast hailed as having a pretty good start. What happened to the kid?
I think it's the nerves, man. I don't think he really. I don't know. I don't think he was just ready to go into this Clásico. I think he just had the nerves and just got out hot by Chofis. Like they said in the on the Twitter, talk about Chofis hops. So overall,
air Chofis.
So I mean,
Chofis. Oh God,
Chofis basically beat him to him, man. I mean. I got give a little props to Chofis, because just kind of exposed Carlos Vargas a little bit.
I don't, because that is unacceptable. You as a defender seeing the ball head on, having the advantage, not even having the height advantage, but having more of an advantage that he's running towards you, and you kind of have the opportunity to kind of just get on there and kind of head it away before he can. It's like, what's going on? Like it's ridiculous. I get it, the kid's young, but he's had plenty of those options before. Granted, this is his first Clásico. I get the nerves, I get everything, but it's still unacceptable. I mean, really, really unacceptable at this point. So, I mean, it's frustrating because just like you guys are frustrated over the whole Alanis thing. It's like, well, it's what's going on with Vargas now too. I mean, I don't really have words more than just kind of a whole like angry emotion in my head. That's pretty much all I can say about that.
Hey, I don't know if you guys heard, but over the off season, Chofis worked out with Canelo's people and lost about 10 kilos as Univision reporters and commentators love to remind us like 20 times in one broadcast.
Actually,
So,
I when I was
Eric trophies.
So I was at the stadium and I was talking to some guys that work with the grounds for the team. I was on like a tour, and they were telling me they're like, "Yo, he really he lost a lot of weight. He probably did lose like 10 kilos or more. Like they were like, it's really noticeable."
I mean, props to the guy, but still,
he got it.
Vargas should be winning that.
How tall is Vargas? Do you guys know? Like, I know there's a significant. I think it's like a significant height difference between them, right?
Yes, it is. It is like
it really is.
Yeah, no, like you see the guy on the right next to him during the game, and you just feel like you should have that advantage.
He's 5'9".
Who? The Vargas?
Yeah.
Trophies is 5'5".
Oh my god!
I'm taller Trophies.
So I mean, it's like really, should definitely pick himself up after this, but it was just frustrating to concede that. Granted, it was a really good finish by your guys' forward, who just kind of placed it really good too.
Oh yeah, a finish that I was not expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
When that play was happening and it went in, I was like, you could even hear on the podcast, I'm like, Godinez? Huh? I'm like, goal, all right.
I don't want to get too much into this because I feel like Twitter has done enough of this, but I'm just going to briefly ask you, you give me a brief yes or no. Was that a correct offside call? I'll throw it off to you first, Varo, for the disallowed goal.
Was it offside, you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barely offside, but it was offside.
Rigo?
And I know. All right, yeah. Rigo, I guess go, and then I get my rant off.
So when I saw it in person, I couldn't tell. And then I only saw one replay, and I haven't rewatched it again. And I couldn't really tell because of the angle that they showed. Because I'm sitting in the press box, and there was only one like TV, and they showed it one time, but it wasn't like, how they usually put the yellow line, and like to show you if it was offside. They didn't do that. It was like a really quick one, so I couldn't really tell. The guys on the podcast said yes when I talked to them at halftime or after the game, but to be honest, I couldn't really tell if it was or it wasn't. And from just the naked eye, it doesn't look like it's an offsides.
Okay, you wanted your little rant, Vado?
Yeah, it was weird too because I think on Univision they didn't show a replay with the line they usually drop as a graphic, and that was confusing. But I think they did it later on, like the second half, and you could see his I don't think the ref saw he obviously doesn't have supervision and saw that his half of his foot was ahead of the Chivas defender, but when they finally did drop that line, half his foot was ahead of the Chivas guy. So I'm sticking with the fact that it was offside.
Okay, Dylan.
I mean, I don't really have nothing to say because I'm confused now with this offsides rule because the way some people portray it, it's on. Some people portray it no, it's off. I've seen people draw the lines themselves and the line looks. I don't know, and then I keep seeing the same picture where the ball is at the player's foot. I don't think it's left it, and so that's what's confusing me now. Is it when he initially leaves the foot, or when exactly before it's constituted as offsides?
Well, offsides is when the ball leaves his foot. Where is the player?
Yeah,
right.
And at that point, as
soon as he touches the ball to him, where is he? That's what constitutes offsides.
Okay, because it's just such a tight one because there's no real different angle. There's not another angle. No one has showed me another angle from the other side where Cecilio is at. So it's really tough. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen, but all over Twitter, I mean, there's been this whole discussion of whether or not it was offside, yes or no. I mean, they've had it on for a couple of days now, going at it, but it, even the Twitter community can't get it, can't get a solid answer.
I saw a certain.
I think the problem with that is like it's a lot of like biased opinions on either side.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I saw a certain someone draw the line, and then he's like, "Well, it's at the angle of the box, so I'm just gonna move it up and not readjust the angle." I was like, "Well, obviously it's not gonna be offside to be doing that." And like everybody wants to be like I don't know, like freaking like a map drawer or whatever. I was like, nah, like it was offside. Like I think I agree with the call, but I think there was no way that the sideline ref, meant to get it right.
No, yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean,
like there's no way that the naked eye could have been like, look at that, like 2-3 inches that he's off by.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just wanted something super short, in the sense that, because I mean we could sit here all day, we can argue, talk about frame by frame, picture by picture, stuff like that. Like it all comes down to that. I mean, it is what it is, and that's pretty much it. So overall, I guess it was frustrating on our end. It was pretty good on your guys' end. Is there?
I mean, you guys came right down the field like 2 minutes later, anyways, and scored a goal.
Yeah,
because Alanis is trash.
No, I mean, regardless of that, I mean, I feel like the team there, the response was good. I mean, as an America fan, Dylan, how did you feel seeing that the team responded in such a fast manner?
It's good, seeing the team respond the way it was. You still see the team aggressive, and you still see the team creating those chances. It's just the fact that when you finish them. So, we could take some positives away too, besides us having all those negatives too as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to grow on. I mean, obviously, to see a response like that so quickly. I think we're seeing a much better Oribe Peralta now. I feel like he had a really good game. Overall, I think
that's the Alanis effect.
No, even though, I mean, even though that happened, I feel like it was still a good game by him, because I saw him run more than him.
He always kills us. Like I feel like he gets it. He gets what the Clásico is, and he goes all out every time.
Yeah, see, that's someone that understands it, and he would even tell the other people too, like, "Hey, this is a Clásico," like, and I like the fact that he was getting mad at Menez because of that. So overall, I think my outstanding performance player would definitely be Oribe Peralta, not just for the goal, but I think everything else that he brought. I mean, did you guys see too when he it was like towards the 88th or 89th minute, he kind of just lunged himself at one of your guys' players, just threw his whole body at him?
Oh yeah, that's like yeah. If you look for it on the podcast, I'm the first one that saw it, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, what? Did he just drop kick somebody on our team? And I was ahead by a couple of seconds, and then the other Flo and Luis saw it, and they're like, oh, what the hell? But nothing came of it. I guess he didn't make contact or something. But it looked like a flat out, like a luchador drop kick.
Seriously, literally looked like that. Looked like that.
I don't know what he was thinking. Because he would have made contact. That would have been the red in probably 2-3 games, not just one.
Yeah, but I mean, that just shows you how excited and how passionate he was for this. So hopefully this turns around this season.
Yeah, aren't you guys on a little slump now? One win out of 5 games or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's unacceptable. I mean, really. Yeah. To draw the last 4 games out of the 5 that you just mentioned, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, we still have the unbeaten run, but we've dropped how much already? I mean, it's ridiculous amount of points. Dylan, try to do the math while I ramble on a little bit so we don't look so bad.
I think it's 8 points.
How much?
8 points, because you dropped 2 in 4 games, so 4 times 2 is 8.
Oh, there you go. See? Children stay in school. It's ridiculous. That's 8 points. I mean, right now we would be far, far more ahead than Santos. I mean, it's ridiculous. We definitely should have won against Tijuana, regardless of the fact that they parked the bus. Should have broken them down. Should have taken our chances. Should have taken our chances against Guadalajara. Didn't do so. Now we end up with a draw. Should have definitely done a much better game against Veracruz. Didn't do so. I mean, now you're stuck in these situations. And really, what's the answer for this, Dylan? What do we have to do as a side to get out of this rut?
I'm telling you, man, you got to finish chances. And we're going to repeat it every podcast until we start to do that. And those mistakes, dude, overcomplicating plays that we shouldn't overcomplicate, the passes, everything, man. Those mistakes keep killing us in the end.
Yeah, it's sad to say that our worst enemy right now is ourselves.
Exactly,
Really is
man.
At this point.
It's how it's gonna be too, man.
Really.
You guys sound like us for the whole season.
And that's what we don't want to. We want to go back to the sunny side of things. Well, I guess really, what more would you guys like to add on this review?
I don't know. I think we've covered a lot. I think we've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I just want to make air trophies a thing. So
Air trophies a thing. Go. If
Air
you're a Chivas fan
trophies.
and you're tuning in, go hashtag that.
Hashtag air trophies, guys. Come on.
Get him a deal with Nike.
Word.
Oh man.
No, I don't got anything else to add.
No. All right, Dylan.
Yeah.
No, I mean towards the review, no.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we're not gonna end it just yet. I think I want to take a time out just to kind of talk to these two gentlemen that are joining us today. Really, thank you guys not only just for coming on to the show, but kind of just thank you guys for what you guys are doing. We're rivals on the pitch, but I think off of it, it's we're part of a community, really. And I think that's really the most special part about everything. That you guys have, kind of opened doors for a couple of people like me and Dylan, and a couple more people at home that maybe are listening to this and maybe want to start something similar. Really, we want to take our hats off to you guys and say, thank you, because you guys, have done this before, way before us, and the success you guys are going. I mean, huge shout out to you guys for coming on to Copa 90 and doing your guys' thing there. For what you guys are achieving. Really just ultimately thank you, not just for coming onto the pod, but, kind of giving, opening doors for a couple other people.
I mean, yeah, I think as a English content for Liga MX, it's not out there. And I think no matter who you support, you want that content to be out there. So we're just like you guys. We're learning as we're going. Like every episode, we have new ideas, new things we want to try out, new guests. Like I think guests is an important thing. Just get people on that can help like promote you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the, I guess, like the compliments and stuff. But we're learning as we're going too. So we just want to help. We just want to help the community grow. The Liga MX English account content, like that whole community. We just want to help everybody get out there,
No, yeah. I mean, thanks for the compliment. I agree with Varo. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. Me personally, I grew up around a lot of Americanistas, and I've told them about you guys' podcast. I'm like, yo, if you want to listen to English content for America stuff, because a lot of times they won't listen to my podcast because obviously they don't care to listen about Chivas stuff. But now that you guys are out, I don't mind plugging you guys, because I plug you guys, and that just makes the whole community grow as far as what we're doing. And the same thing with you guys. If you know somebody that's a Chivas fan and you tell me, hey, there's a Chivas podcast you can listen to. Now we're helping each other grow, and I think that's something that definitely needs to continue in this Liga MX English world, I guess.
No, yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for for doing that too. There's a couple of Chivas people that that at least I know, and tell them, hey, because people ask you about the podcast, stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to, even though they're not fans of my team, like you said, you can plug them into yours guys' listening ways, and really just overall help us grow. It's not it's not a competition. It's not who can be the biggest, who can be the best. I think it's just how as a whole can we grow together. And really it's wonderful that you guys have that same mindset and help out the community.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
definitely.
Like I was telling Ivan, prior to before we went on y'all's podcast and recorded there, I told Ivan, I said, I have never met a Chivas fan, Yeah, so basically y'all are the first Chivas fans that I interacted with. And then this past Sunday, I was helping out a friend with a documentary he's shooting for his study abroad trip, and it was over soccer. And he asked me, "Hey, did you watch the Clásico?" And I said, "Yeah, and I'm a Americanista. I have my podcast." And he was like, "Oh, I'm a Chivas fan." So I mentioned him to about y'all's podcast, and he said he'll check it out when he gets a chance. So hopefully he gets to checking it out too.
No, I mean that's dope, man. That's exactly what how it should be, like, because a lot of people don't listen to podcasts. A lot of people are new to the podcast thing, and just opening their like their horizon to that, and showing them that there's other options, not just one type of podcast. Like, yes, he might listen to us, but then he might want to be like, well, you know what? Now I want to see what Americanistas have to say about the game, or I might want to see what Americanistas are talking about on their podcast.
Yeah.
It just like you open one door, and it's going to open more doors to other things. So I mean, props to you guys, because you guys are really young, and you guys are doing your thing already.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and it's great to have people around like you guys and everyone else too that's part of the community. I went down there for the Mex Nation, everyone for the Mexican Soccer Show, everyone really who's pushing for this too. And they've welcomed us with open arms as well. So like, it's pretty dope, like you say. So you know, just want to say thank you guys for everything. I know it means a lot to me and Dylan too that you guys are helping us grow in a sense as well, and for having us on too, which is pretty cool. I kind of briefly just want to talk about your guys' little Copa 90 experience. How was that?
Oh, yeah. So, I have a friend that works at Copa 90, and they do like these FIFA showdown things where they simulate teams into other leagues.
Yeah.
And she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, are you interested in doing like a Liga MX thing?" And she's like, "You guys can plug your podcast or whatever." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Look," I hit Rigo up, and Rigo's like, "Yeah, I'm down." So we went in. It was fun. Like I gotta watch the whole video, but I don't know how much they edited in or out. So I don't know what they did, but it was fun. I think me and Rigo had a lot of fun. I don't know if you watched that FIFA game, but I've been getting shit for that miss. That miss, I've been getting shit since I missed.
I
He's been
bet I
getting a
saw
lot
it.
of
Yeah,
shit for that.
I caught
Was that a clear? That's not a clear goal, right? That's a small window. we got we
Don't
got
I've
a,
don't
we
been
got
be
a we got a
guys.
professional FIFA player right now, so I want him to let me know if that was a clear goal or the hitting the post is okay.
No, it's reasonable, dude. I mean, you went for the smart move, which was the low dry finish. I mean, you just kind of angled it a little bit too much, so it's unfortunate. I mean, it happens, it happens.
And if you watch the video, you see how quickly they cut to when they score.
Yeah.
It was
That's
like
real
right.
time. That's real
That's
time.
real time. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
like that's how quick they scored. Like right after that.
Oh,
That's why
wow.
we were just yelling like, "This is a real Chivas game!" Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's fair to say it hasn't been your guys' week in FIFA.
No, well, not my. I mean, him and Flo are having a bad FIFA
I mean,
week.
Rigo's been dodging me all the time on FIFA. Like, he don't want it. So
Well, I
I gave
mean,
him
right.
I gave him the pass to win the game, and he missed it.
the invitation's
But
always here for whenever you guys want to take
oh
it.
yeah, I haven't been home. Obviously, I've been in Guadalajara. But as soon as I'm home and I'm in front of the PS, I'm gonna holler at you guys to play. Me and Flo got a pending game. I mean, me and
All right,
Barrow,
and you
not
guys
Flo. I
tell
don't
Flo
play
too that whenever he wants that second leg,
rematch.
I'm all ready.
Yeah, definitely. But the Copenhagen thing was cool. I got some other projects lined up with them. That'll be dropping soon, and you guys can definitely look out for them.
That's dope because I mean it's kind of like what I was mentioning, like is the fact that it's even though you guys are repping Chivas, it's still cool to see an outlet like this come out of the community, really, and it's you like you never know, it could spark an idea for someone to be like, okay, let's get someone from a different team, so it's
I
I
mean,
thought it was pretty cool.
we went in as Chivas fans, but we talked about Tigres.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
like
you
that
guys have it.
already like it kind of happened. Like I don't know, because they wanted to do the simulation, and you know how FIFA ratings are set up. So we just decided to go with Tigres because they got better rated players than most Liga MX teams on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, Dylan. Anything else you want to say to these two gentlemen?
No, just thanks for the collab. I'm pretty sure we hyped it up as much as we could. And now I'm looking forward to next season too. Doing this all over again. If you are down.
Or if we make a miraculous Liguilla run.
No, there is talks that we could be meeting in the Champions League final.
That is true.
Yes,
And
that's true. I forgot
if that was to happen, I think
Yeah.
we'll definitely get together to make something really big for that because it'll be a final.
Because it's clear that the jig is already in, and you guys have the easiest path to the final.
I mean, you could blame FC Dallas for that.
But yeah, I mean, you guys placed the winner of Toronto and Tigres, which will more than likely beat Tigres. I think.
Yeah, I feel so too.
I think by that time Tigres will be focusing on La Liguilla.
Oh well, look, you guys are up already 1-0 right now.
Yeah.
So you're well on your way.
So we definitely need. So I mean, if definitely we're always open to collaboration, regardless whether we play or not. You guys, it's pretty cool to have met you guys and to be able to collaborate. So thank you again, guys, for everything you guys have done. We're gonna wrap it up here. This has been episode 10 of the Eagle Eye Podcast. Thank you to the guys from Chivas del Norte who came down and who hosted us as well. Make sure you guys check out their podcast as well. So pretty much that's all for us today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Arriba la America, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Till next time.